So here, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Naruto was like Orochimaru, part 5. It's been 3 weeks, and I don't need to do that recap. So let me begin because I did this. Well, I did take one, but the problem is something happened and corrupt, and of course I'm doing part 2. So not part 2, take 2 of this what if. So yeah, this is part 5, and I am trying to end it off. So let me begin. So of course we go into Naruto and Shiroi kind of talking. Of course, is where Orochimaru kind of said yes that he closer to immortality, but what he needs is the eyes of the Rinnegan. Now he thinks about it. He got Sasuke's eyes, the Sharingan, but he wants to get the Rinnegan. So he asked Naruto and Shiroi to go find the Akatsuki. Kabuto is meeting up with one of them, mostly named Sasori. So of course they go to meet Sasori. Of course Naruto noticed one thing. With his eyes, he activates the Sharingan really fast, and he noticed one thing. His eyes are more advanced to the Sharingan because he does have the Uchiha genes, and sees that this is some kind of Leaf Village ninja. That's where, it's Yamato. Now, I don't remember if I killed Yamato, so yeah, Yamato's kind of alive in this one. But of course, Naruto says, Kabuto. Kabuto says, wait, what do you want? This is a Leaf Ninja, jump back. This is where, both Kabuto, Shiroi, and Naruto jumps back, and this is where, Yamato tries to capture them and says, damn it. This is where, Yamato gets out of it, the, what's it called, like, wooden kind of puppet of, what's it called, Sasori. Of course, this is Yamato, and then there's people kind of jumping next to him. That is, what's it called, Kakashi, because Kakashi isn't dead. What's it called, Sai, Shikamaru, and, Ino. Now, of course, this is where Naruto says, huh? Shikamaru, Ino? My old friends? This is where Shikamaru says, Naruto, we're here to capture you. And capture you too, Kabuto. And you too, girl with white hair. We are here to get information about Orochimaru's location and where Sasuke's at. Naruto says, huh, like how you're gonna have to try harder than that. This is where Shikamaru sends a, shadow at Naruto. Naruto burns up everything around him. Right now using the fire kick that he got from that one time. That's why Naruto sends a very powerful fire attack straight towards Shikamaru, Ino, and everyone else. Everyone has to jump out the way. This is where, Yamato says wood style, and this is where Naruto says fire style. This is where, both of their attacks clash, but this is where the fire style was much more powerful, burning through it. This is where Naruto says Red Crimson Serpent. The Red Crimson Serpent appears, right now rushing, Red Crimson Flame Serpent appears, right now rushing through, at everyone, but mostly attacking Yamato. Right now, Yamato is using wood style, but of course, this is where, he is getting destroyed by the serpent. The serpent's pretty huge and managed to just burn all the wood style. This is where, Yamato realized that this is bad. This is the worst matchup. Before he can even say anything, he gets a sword stabbed through the heart. He goes, ugh! It's Naruto, with his sword transforming into a red crimson color. Yes, his swords can actually transform to different colors when they're basically made from the serpent scales mostly. And of course, any type of element that Naruto wishes to use, they can transform into that element. Of course, his flames are really burning Yamato, and this is where Naruto slashes Yamato in half while still stabbing through his heart but slashing him. Of course, Yamato gets cut. Yamato goes, cut. No, no. He dies. That's where Kakashi says, Yamato, Shidori! This is where Naruto says, lightning sword style! This is where he swings the lightning sword at Kakashi, and Kakashi says, Shidori! Both their attacks clash, and Kakashi, ah! This is where Naruto says, white lightning sparks. Sword strike. This is where, the sword transforms to white lightning, and, Naruto appears behind Kakashi. Kakashi's cut down. He's dead. This is where, Sai and Ino, and even, Shikamaru, the last one left. Sai and Kabuto are fighting each other, but of course, Kabuto is so much more of a professional, fighter and close combat, thanks to, his medical profession. And of course, he's managing to numb, Sai's points. And of course, this is where Sai realizes that he's going to die if he doesn't do anything. This is where he tries to draw ink lions, but before even the ink lions being able to kind of attack Kabuto, two serpents that are white attacks the ink lion, destroying it, and it's Shiroi. Shiroi starts fighting against Shikamaru and Ino. Shikamaru managed to capture her with what's it called, shadow binding. Like the shadow binding and all that. This is where Shodai says, damn it. This is where, well, Hino says, mind transfer jutsu. This is where before she was able to mind transfer into Shodai, what she did, something happens. Shodai isn't normal in her mindscape. It's a giant white serpent. And looks at, well, Ino, with a crimson red eye. Ino gets scared and jumps out of the mind transfer and says, what the hell are you? Naruto appears saying, sup, bitch? Slashing at Ino and killing her. It's where Shikamaru realized that this is the worst mission. They have to get out of here now. He realized he's the only one left. He tried to escape, but this is where Naruto says, serpents of lightning, Raijin. Raijin appears right now, rushing at Shikamaru with blinding speed, biting into Shikamaru's neck and killing him by paralyzing and murdering his body. But yeah, so where, well, Naruto says pointless. This is where, well, it says, I guess some of the Akatsus are dead. So, we can cross out the sorcery, maybe Deidara is dead, but we can cross out the sorcery is dead. This is where, well, Kabuto says, yeah, I guess so. So, what's next? Naruto said, you can probably go after, well, finding some of the information from the Akatsus. So we go to 3 weeks later, and of course Naruto has found some information on the Akatsus, and also Kabuto. This is where Kabuto shared the information that Deidara is still alive but has a new partner named Tobi. Then there's Kisame and Itachi. Then there's, well, the leader and, well, the angel. This is where, well, Naruto understands. He says that he will go after Kisame and Itachi. Shodai says, I'll be coming along also, don't leave me alone. This is where Kabuto says it'd be a better idea if you come along with teams. Kisame is very dangerous, and also Itachi. Do you think you will be enough power to go against him? Naruto. Naruto says, of course I'll be having enough power. This is where, well, Kidomaru says, I'll be coming along also. Taiyo says, yeah, I'm gonna have to come along also, because I don't want Shodai to have all the fun. She likes to cut her tongue, and this is where Shodai says, I'm gonna kill you. This is where Kabuto says, it's decided. This is where one girl kind of rushes and says, wait, can I come also? I want to kind of see outside to kind of get more examples from people. And hearing from Itachi, Uchiha, and also Kisame, it's pretty good, samples. This is where this girl has red hair, glasses, and of course her name is Karen, well, not Karen, Karen Uzumaki. This is where, well, she also kind of senses the aura around Naruto, and it's pretty deadly, but at the same time, pretty nice at the time. This is where, well, she just likes the feeling around Naruto, but yeah. And besides, it's the same Uzumaki they're from, but Naruto doesn't really take the Uzumaki name. He takes the serpent name mostly. Of course, they go to travel, and they manage to find where, well, Itachi and Kisame are at. Itachi right now is trying to wait for his little brother to find him, but he hasn't found out where his little brother has been at. He knows it's with Orochimaru, but this is where, well, people start walking in. This is where Naruto says, I'm here to fight Itachi. This is where Kisame says, huh? You're not, Sasuke. You're not his little brother. Why should I listen to you? This is where Naruto blitz him and appears behind him. This is where Kisame says, why you? This is where Kidomaru appears with the bone sword. Right now using his kind of like spine to kind of block a sword from Kisame mostly, but yeah. But of course, this is where Naruto says, I'll be fighting against Itachi. You guys deal with him. Tayuya, Karin, and also, well, Shiroi are saying, fine. This is where, well, Kisame says, I guess I'll be playing with you kids. Yeah. This is where, well, Naruto finds Itachi and says, I'll be fighting against you, Itachi Uchiha. Itachi says, so, you did something to my little brother, didn't you? Sure, maybe. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Who really cares? Itachi activates his MS and says, then I will stop you right here, right now. Says, infamous, well not infamous, he says, Tsukiyomi. This is where, well, he puts Naruto in the Tsukiyomi, and Naruto noticed that this is a very powerful Kenjutsu. This is where he activates his own MS, but transform it into an EMS. This is where, well, not an EMS, it's called SMS. So yeah, it's called Serpent Monoko Sharingan, not EMS. With the genes of the serpents, he managed to activate a Sage mode with, well, the Monoko Sharingan. This is where Naruto, his eyes are a very colorful, what's it called, MS. Now, I should mention what the MS look like. So it looks like this, but all the black tomoyas are actually different colors, like so many different colors. In the middle of the dot is actually slick. And this is where instead of being a red colorish, it's also different colors around instead of being red. And well, not red, it's actually black, but yeah. But yeah, the slick eye is actually, well, white. So yeah. This is where Naruto smiles and says, "Ah, release." This is where, well, one of the serpents that he usually trains was an illusion serpent. So of course he was actually stuck in so many powerful illusions, genjutsu from a serpent like that. This is where he breaks out of the genjutsu of the Tsukiyomi and says, "Ha! It seems that your Tsukiyomi doesn't work on me." This is where Itachi like grabs one of his eyes and starts bleeding. He's like, "Ah, I see. So Tsukiyomi will not work on you. Then I will defeat you." This is where, well, Itachi rushes at Naruto, and Naruto also rushes at Itachi. They both clash in the middle and starts kind of kicking at each other and punching. This is where Naruto's managed to dodge. Of course, he managed to kick Itachi in the stomach, smash him into the wall. But Itachi says, "You're under my genjutsu now." Naruto says, "Yep, I am." This is where a knife, like a kind of kunai, appears in Itachi's chest. Itachi winds his eyes. This is where, well, the illusion kind of happened. Then Naruto's behind him. This is where Itachi says, "Ow." Well, looking into your eye, you look into my eyes. At the same time, I put a genjutsu when you put your genjutsu first, making you think I kicked you, but really, I stabbed you instead. Itachi goes, "Your skill, way too skilled and too dangerous for the Leaf Village." He starts throwing kunais and shurikens at Naruto. Naruto pulls out his sword to start just cutting them all down, with the sword being a crimson red. This is where Naruto rushes at Itachi trying to cut him down. Itachi pulls out his kunai, but this is where this kunai gets cut down, melted through. Itachi then sends a fireball at Naruto. Naruto sends a water bullet. This is where both the things just clash and make steam, and of course they're fighting in the now steam. This is where Naruto is right now kicking at him, punching at him, but this is where Naruto moves like a serpent mostly. This is where Naruto, he pulls out his other sword and slashes at Itachi, managed to rip through Itachi's, well, what's it called, the Akatsuki cloak. This is where he's now bleeding. This is where Itachi says, "Damn it." This is where he sends a fireball again at Naruto, but this time throws shurikens around him. This is where Naruto notices the shuriken as a fireball. This is where Naruto cuts it down with his sword instead. Instead of using going through hand signs, he knew that the shurikens were going inside the fireball. This is where Naruto cuts the fireball and the shurikens and rushes at Itachi with blinding speed. This is where Naruto is in sage mode of what's called a serpent. But this serpent is called the, well, he's right now in a sage mode. This is really difficult for him to actually master. This sage mode is called King, well, it's called the King of all Serpents. And of course, this is where Naruto is actually able to control so many elements of different serpents. Of course, this is where Naruto, his speed was so beyond. This is where Itachi had to make a Tsukiyomi, well, not Tsukiyomi, a Susanoo, well, ribcage. This is where, well, the sword was so close to Itachi's face, like it broke through the, well, Susanoo's ribcage. This is where Itachi winds his eyes. This is where Itachi jumps away. This is where Naruto sends multiple slashes of crimson red flames at, well, Itachi. Itachi then makes the Susanoo body and actually uses his sword to cut it down. This is where Naruto then transforms both of his blades into a white, purely white. It was right now coming out with white mist. This is where, well, Itachi says, "I'm gonna have to seal you away." He then tries to use the blade of the Susanoo. This is where Naruto cuts it down instantly. It appears right in front of Itachi, cutting the Susanoo apart. Itachi was bleeding. He's right now running out of chakra so fast. Naruto says, "Die. Serpent, King of Serpent Bite." He then shoves both of the swords from the, what's it called, the right side, because he's right now at the right side with both of his swords, shove them into Itachi. Itachi winds his eyes. Now the white mist that was on the sword was actually a very powerful venom. A very powerful venom that actually like vaporized. This is where when it came into contact of Itachi's like body, Itachi's body becomes into a kind of blackish color, and then he just disappears. He turns to dust. He just gets vaporized. This is where Naruto says, "You're done." This is where Naruto, he starts coughing up blood because he knows that Sage Mode does take so much energy, so much mind stress, and it just hurts his body a lot. This is where, he says, "Damn, still not master with this form. Gotta get to Shoroi." Shoroi and the others managed to defeat, well, Kasami. Thanks to Shoroi, managed to poison Kasami a lot. But Shimahara was going into a rage with, well, Kasami. And of course, where, well, Kinemaru did actually, well, learn a very powerful bone style. It was called bone javelins. This is where he sends multiple javelin bones at, well, Kisame, stopping him from actually rushing towards Tayuya because Tayuya was right now putting illusions. Karin was right now using chains to kind of block off some of his chakra network by kind of just absorbing most of the chakra. And this is where, well, Shodoyi was the last one to strike him with her curved sword right in the head, killing him. This is where, well, both fusions of Samahara and Kisame was split in the middle because Shodoyi did split him right in the face. This is where, well, Kisame was dead, Samahara was alive, but of course, this is where, well, he decided to take a liking towards, well, Karin. Because Karin has actually a special ability to actually absorb people's, well, chakra or her chains. So in this one, she does have something like that. So people can absorb chakra from her from biting her, but this time with her chains, she can actually absorb people's chakra, but yeah. So of course, this is where, well, she is done with that, and of course, Samahara does take a liking to her. So of course, this is where Samahara is now with, what's it called, Karin. So of course, this is where, well, after taking out Itachi and the others, or mostly Kisame, they kind of go on to, well, the next Akatsuki they need to find. The next Akatsuki they gotta find is, well, before anything else, Karin does kind of take some blood samples from Itachi and also Samahara. Well, not Samahara, Kisame. This is where, well, after taking blood samples from them, what's it called? After taking blood samples from them, this is where, well, Karin goes to kind of, well, like, see if Naruto's okay. Of course, multiple girls kind of jump onto Naruto, mostly Shodoyi and Karin. This is where Shodoyi gets kind of jealous and annoyed with the fact that Karin is kind of holding onto Naruto like that, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Naruto just kind of snickers, but yeah, he's fine. He's a little bit hurt, but this is where Karin says, bite onto me. This is where Naruto says, huh? Alright, I forgot you have like a medical kind of gene or whatever. This is where, well, she says, yeah, just bite onto me. This is where, well, Naruto does, and Shodoyi gets annoyed. Of course, this is where Shodoyi kind of bites also Karin's arm. Karin can't really, like, say no, get away and all that. But, of course, this is where, well, Naruto's now replenished, and this is where they're going to the next Akatsuki. Both Tobi and Deidara. They are now, right now, getting, well, the 5 tails. This is where, well, because Kaku and Hiran were supposed to get the 5 tails. The problem is, well, the 5 tails escaped from them. But yeah, and also they kind of landed into the kind of grass village. But yeah, this is where, well, Naruto did also kind of destroy both. Well, Itachi's body was no longer being able to found because he used a very powerful technique that not even blood samples can be found out. So of course, Karin couldn't really get any blood samples from Itachi. Of course, this is where, well, his sword also did evaporate the blood that he did stab into Itachi. So of course, this is where, well, Karin didn't get any blood samples. But of course, Naruto just stabbed onto Kisame to get rid of his body. This is where, well, there's no way a reanimation jutsu can actually bring back Itachi or Kisame, thanks to Naruto's technique. It's a very, very powerful but forbidden technique, unless you're gonna risk it to kind of, well, destroy your enemies. Because it can also be target to anyone else, because the vapors are very powerful, that you must be in the King of the Sage mode of serpents to not be affected by this. Because if you're in another Sage mode that's different, like the Toad Sage mode or something else, like a kind of like a White Snake Sage mode, like Shoroi's, they will still be affected, but the, what's it called, the ability from like the White Snake Sage mode will kind of still affect you a little bit, but it won't be that deadly. But from the Toads, you will be destroyed in an instant. Well, not in an instant, mostly a couple of 9 weeks later. Because it's still going to fuck you up. That doesn't change anything. It kind of is attracted by chakra, how much chakra you have. Or it's also attracted by your blood, because yeah. So of course, this is where, well, it depletes whatever last life force you have. So that's what it is. It also gets rid of however much chakra you still have in your body, then you will kind of live on. If you have lots, like a Uzumaki, then a good chance you will kind of live for 9 months. For normal humans, you will live for only 9 weeks. Well, if you were strong enough to kind of take it either like a little cut or scratch. But if you are directly like shoved into your chest, then you're going to instantly die because the sword is straight into your chest, like in the outside also from your back. But yeah, of course, with that happening, this is where, well, that happens, and of course you can't really escape death. So of course this is where, well, they go on to the next, well, people. They get to the stone village and see, well, they that are managing to capture, well, the five tails. This is where Obito says, so we got the five tails now. Now then we can go back to this is where Naruto appears, right now sending a slash straight towards Toby, cutting him, and this is where Data jumps away. This is where Data says, what the? This is where he headed to dodge bullets of Bones and says, I see. So you're from the Sound Village. Because yes, what's it called? Taiuya, Shiroi, and even Kinemaru. And also, Karin has a Sound Head Village. Now Naruto only has a serpent headband, but yeah, to show that he's from a serpent, but yeah. But of course, this is where, well, Naruto is kind of like rushing towards Deidara, but before he rushes to Deidara, he goes back to Obito, and this is where he says dimension cut slash. This is where he cuts off Obito's head, well, mostly arm. This is where, well, he noticed he didn't actually physically hit him. So he did a dimension serpent slashing. He says serpent dimension cutting. This is where he cuts Obito's arm, and Obito screams because he was shocked for someone to be able to get around Kamui. Naruto noticed that this is now some kind of dimension thing that he managed to put his body in. Obito is right now trying to jump away, right now using Kamui. Of course, trying to just vortex away, but that's where Naruto says divine cutting slash. He managed to cut Obito in half. That's where Obito went in his eyes and actually dies. This is where Naruto says, well, that's pathetic. He stabs it with using a little bit of the King Serpent bite, with a kind of the sword becoming white on the tip, but yeah, getting around his body. And this is where Deidara says, Kai! This is where a bomb was thrown straight towards Naruto, but Naruto managed to dodge it thanks to his body. It's very resistant to explosions and other things, but yeah. This is where Naruto says, it seems that you want to fight. I guess I'll take you on, you bastard. But yeah. But of course, I'm going to leave it off here because I need to go somewhere, but yeah, in a little bit. But other than that, have a nice patel day, patel night, patel see, patel. I know I was talking way too damn fast, but yeah, I still want to finish this damn water, but yeah, it takes forever. But other than that, have a nice patel day, patel night, patel see, patel. Bye-bye.